You're listening to the Naptime Empires podcast with my mom, Nikki Elledge Brown. Mom, your show's on.
Thanks, bud. I got it from here. Welcome to the Naptime Empires podcast, refreshingly honest conversations on the realities of parenthood and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Nikki Elledge Brown. Let's get started. The inspiration for this episode is brought to us by my commute from downstairs to upstairs to actually record it. I have a feeling that the way that I'll choose the topics for these solo shows is similar to how I choose food at a restaurant. I like to say that I choose my finalists, and then whenever the waiter comes, then I just go with whichever one comes to mind first. Because sometimes just so many things look good on the menu. And sometimes I have so many ideas for things I'd love to talk to you about that it's hard to choose just one. But this is the one that came through the strongest for me. And sidebar, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, the Naptime Empires Playground, do that. If you want, no pressure, but that's where we have these deeper discussions, and that's where I'm going to share the overflow because it's inevitable. As soon as I am done recording and as soon as something ships and goes out and publishes to iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to this on the site, I'm going to be like, I forgot to say this. Ooh, I forgot this story or this example, or ooh, that brought up this aha. And the Naptime Empires Playground is our place for that. That is the space that I am creating and curating where I can share all of the extra stuff that doesn't actually get shared in the podcast. So make sure you join me over there. You can go to naptimeempires.com/Facebook. Red lips and dance parties. The Get Dressed Challenge. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Here's how I was inspired to do this. I came upstairs and I went to the gym this morning, which I haven't done in over a year since I was super pregnant with Deacon. Haven't been to a gym, and I wanted to walk over to our community center gym over here and lift some weights and do some resistance training. I don't know, I had a feeling since I had been dealing with mental resistance for so long, I had a craving to just go at it with physical resistance today. So that's what I did. Posted a selfie to document it because it was an interesting aha exploration. All that to say, I was in my workout clothes by the time nap time number 2 rolled around for Deacon. So Deacon's currently napping, and Bryson's downstairs watching an episode of The Magic School Bus, and I came up here to record this episode in the studio, which is my closet. And I could have just sat down on the little stool and started recording, but I was like, I want to feel strong, powerful, sassy pants, and so I'm going to put some red lip gloss on. So then I put some red lip gloss on, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to change into some actual clothes, non-workout clothes. Then when I did that, I was like, well, shoots, I'm going to take my hair down. And then all of a sudden, I'm a new woman, right? And I felt really powerful in my workout clothes when I was actually working out in them. But oftentimes, I'll get dressed with the intention of working out. You know what I'm saying. You know what I am saying. You get dressed and you put on your workout clothes because you're like, I'm going to go for a walk today, or I'm going to do whatever today, but then you don't actually work out in them. That's what happens so often when you work from home. And trust me, I know. Oh, also, by the way, Captain Obvious here. All this red lips, outfit, hair, you don't even see me. So I was genuinely doing it for me. This is a podcast. You cannot even see me. I was doing it for me. It reminded me of the day once upon a time in 2013 or 14 when I did a video and started what I called the Get Dressed Challenge. So the blog post is called Feeling Blah? Try this, and I'll link to it in the show notes at naptimeempires.com. It's over on nikkielledgebrown.com. And it was just about calling out the reality of working from home, because when you're working outside of the home, all you ever want to do is be able to work from home in your pajama pants in the comfort of whatever you want to wear. Pajama pants, yoga pants, no pants. Nobody can tell you what to wear inside your own home. Technically people can't unless you have a legit uniform. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. And trust, I did. For years, I literally worked in a uniform. The Park Service uniform, don't get me started Not that you have to get me started because I'm in here talking to myself right now. But I have a whole blog post on my old blog, old blog, Stories from a Screensaver, called Park Ranger Barbie or something like that, where I just show the evolution of the National Park Service uniform. It was super not comfortable. Like, I would get home and the first thing I wanted to do was take off the man pants. I mean, they talk about mom jeans. They came up to like your rib cage, so I would end up getting the men's pants. And then when I was pregnant with Bryson and wearing the maternity pants, I was like, please, can somebody arrange a task force so that I can just, give my 2 cents on what these pants are like as an actual pregnant park ranger, because this is not working out. Anyway, sidebar, and I will link to that in the show notes too, just in case you're curious about my accidental SEO success story as the #1 search result for Park Ranger Barbie. I digress. All that to say, there were days when I would dream of being able to work from home and wear whatever I wanted to wear. I also had times and jobs like when I was teaching in college and I would wear stilettos and I felt really cute, like that was great. Not super comfortable, but I wanted to get dressed because I was as old or sometimes younger than my students, because I was teaching college level courses at TCU and then at a local community college in my hometown. So I needed to like dress up to differentiate myself from my students. So don't get me wrong there. I do love being able to be comfortable and wear whatever I want to wear. But the flip side of that, there's always a dark and a light, right? The shadow and the light, is that it's so easy to just wear your jammies all day, or to wear workout clothes even if you're not working out, or even if you did work out. I mean, like I said, I could have been wearing my workout clothes right now. And whether you choose to admit it or not, it takes a toll on how you feel. It takes a toll on your energy. It makes you feel, or at least it makes me feel, I will speak to my own experience, even though I know this is the experience for most people I know and have ever talked about this with, makes you feel blah. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today, because it's so simple to find physical ways that you can light your own spark. And before you're like, Nikki, don't tell me I need to spend an hour doing blah, blah, blah. Don't tell me, that you're too busy. Because seriously, if you would just give yourself an extra 90 seconds of attention today, as long as your intention of that attention is to light your own spark, whatever that means to you, feeling sassy pants, feeling bold, powerful, sexy, just turning yourself up a notch, the ripple effect is going to be so great for everyone that you come into contact with. The other thing is, if you can just trick yourself into being like, okay, 90 seconds, I'm going to create 90 seconds for myself, it'll easily turn into 5 minutes. Shoot, it could take an entire nap time where you're like, oh, I'm going to paint my nails. I'm going to declutter over here. I'm going to listen to some music. I'll get to those ideas in a second. But you know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm just here to tell you, with love, do not tell me that you're too busy to make time for yourself. Don't tell me that. 90 seconds is all I'm asking for, just to start. Again, maybe you just need to trick yourself into doing this. So just say, 90 seconds, what can I do right now to just jazz it up a bit, okay? So put the baby in the pack and play, crank some jams, wake up 5 minutes earlier if you need to, because mama needs some time for herself. Okay, here's some ideas of things you could do. One of the quickest ways for me to fill fancy pants is to put on my red lip. I actually don't even use lipstick. It's like lip liner and lip gloss. Red lips. And the funny thing is, I never really wore red lips besides like when I was on the dance team in high school, and that was for competitions and football games and stuff, until I did my photo shoot in 2014. And I have like my signature A Course About Copy photos where I have these bright glossy red lips. And so then I was like, oh, this is fun. And so it was life imitating art, where then I was like, I actually really do like red lips. So like if I have a webinar or something, like when I really want to feel sassy and powerful, red lips are one of my favorite go-tos. But maybe that's not for you. Although if you haven't tried it, don't knock it till you try it, because you may like it, you may not. Clothes, just something different, whether that means actually putting on a bra or not wearing a bra, hair, perfume, jewelry. I'm talking about physical things. I'm not saying that you need to wear makeup to be beautiful. That is absolutely not true. So don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. But you know what you want and need, just to feel like you're giving yourself some extra TLC, right? Other physical things. dance. I used to love going dancing. My friend Keely and I in college, we would be the first ones on the dance floor. No liquor required. If we would go to like a mixer, for example, and there was nobody on the dance floor, sometimes it's because the lighting, it was a little bright. So me and Keely would be like, all right, let's go ask the manager to dim the lights. We're going to tell the DJ to play this song. We're going to get out there and get this party started. I used to love dancing, but I really don't make much time for it lately. That's going to change. It's something that I've become more aware of lately. I just found this guy. I'll link to him in the show notes. It's Marshall something, but he does he's a YouTube. There's probably like millions. I don't really know. However many people follow him, and you're going to be like, Nikki, how do you not remember his name? But I'll link to him in the show notes where he does like dance videos, just a few minutes. I mean, seriously, if I just started each day with one of his videos, that would be an instant mood lift right there. So dance parties, music, light a candle, take just a minute to declutter your space if it's been getting you down. Something real and physical that can just for a second pull you out of mom, biz, wife, giver mode and remind you of who you are all on your own. Maybe you're getting to know yourself again, probably getting to know yourself for the first time, like in this phase, right? Because sometimes you just need to pause and reevaluate. You are a different person now than you were however many years ago. I'm not the same person that I was in college out on the dance floor getting the party started, but that girl is still in me. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Okay. Another idea, if you're feeling really fabulous, you might as well take a selfie and document the occasion, right? You can hashtag get dressed, hashtag Naptime Empires. Of course, if you don't want to post it publicly, you don't have to. This is for you. It's not for anyone else. It will benefit everyone else. I'm telling you, even if you never take a selfie, it will benefit everyone else when you give yourself some time. But if you don't want to post it publicly, that's totally fine. You could also post it in the group. Like I said, Naptime Empires Playground. I guarantee we're going to have a great conversation on this going on in there. And I just want to encourage you to own it. Another thing I'm noticing lately is how easy it is to own, like people talk about vulnerability and authenticity and sharing your truth and blah, 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 which is so important and so valuable. But what I'm noticing about myself, it's interesting. It's really easy for me to be like posting a no makeup selfie, like a really unflattering picture where it's like silly, crazy bed hair, hashtag I woke up like this, like I'm entertained by my hair, so I figure everyone else will be. I've done a Facebook Live with bed head, and I'll link to that in the show notes as well. But, I'm like, interesting that I feel pretty comfortable posting that. I don't feel comfortable like taking a picture of myself right now as I'm all dolled up to record this podcast in my closet. I don't feel as comfortable posting a selfie like that. I think that's interesting, and there's something to investigate. Like when I was pregnant and I was feeling the epitome of feminine power, and I was feeling sexy for sure, and I would like get my blowout, my hair done, and I'd do my red lips, and then I would take a picture, and for some reason I would tell myself that's okay because I'm showing my baby bump. But like now that I don't have a little person growing in my uterus, I don't feel like it's okay to share that. So I'm just calling myself out on that. I'm going to just play with sharing a selfie just because I'm feeling fabulous. And this Get Dressed Challenge can be your excuse to do the same thing. There are all kinds of cultural, societal rules around what's okay to feel and what's okay to share and what's okay to express, but I'm just going to suggest that we ditch them and excuse me for a second. Dad, if you're listening, this is why I'm saying this is not for you. This is not for you. This is where I am talking directly to the mama on the other end of the earbud to say that this is a friendly reminder from someone who gets it, that it's easy to forget, that you do exist aside from all the different hats that you wear. You exist without a hat at all, actually. No plate, no hat. There is just you, and she does want to come out to play. So please, as you're listening to this, use this as your call to action to bring that sexy, feminine, powerful woman back to the light. Even if it is, like I said, in 90-second chunks. It's funny because just the word sexy, it's funny how it's something that we don't associate, like the word mom in itself doesn't imply that. However, it kind of does, because biologically, whether you had your baby biologically or not, like there was sex involved. It was so funny. I was at an event in Scottsdale, and a new buddy of mine was telling me about how he coaches men on life and business, relationships, health. And then another friend that was in the conversation was like sex. But the friend that was talking, he was like, that's funny. I just totally censored myself in front of you. And I don't know why. And I'm like, right, because I'm a mom. So that means I've never done it. You know what I mean? Like, why do we just detach ourselves from that? Like, how do we think, especially if you've been pregnant, like, well, again, and there are ways to get pregnant. Or anyway, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is bring your sexy back, dude. That's it. That's all that I'm saying. Light your own spark. It may feel selfish, but trust, it is for everybody's highest good. That saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Happy wife, happy life. I have a feeling that after listening to this podcast and taking action, if you have a husband or partner, they can be like, woo, what are you doing? You need to go listen to that podcast again? I like it. So that's it. I just want you to be able to use this episode as your permission slip and spread the love by all means, far and wide. Share this episode with your friends who need to hear it too. I mean, please share it back with me when you have a feeling I may be in a slump too, and I need to remember to crank up the dance jams or light a candle or spray on some perfume or just get dressed. Again, just a little bit of extra attention. Intentional attention. That goes for us, it goes for our kids, it goes for our business. Intentional attention. It's definitely something worth exploring. So this is your permission slip to be selfish, super selfish for 90 seconds to as long as you possibly can and want to. Take care of you and report back in the group. I want to hear about it. I want to see it. If you want to be seen, the Naptime Empires Playground is a really cool, beautiful, safe place for you to be seen and to just practice sharing that selfie. You may be like, ugh, selfie again. And if you are like that, then I encourage you to think like, what's that about? What would that mean? What would be so bad about that? You are beautiful. Makeup, no makeup, crazy hair, glamorous hair, whatever it is. You're beautiful. And on my heart today is the opportunity to remind you of that. And since I can't come over there and just like lift you up and give you a little extra pep in your step, it's up to you. You got to do it. And then the rest of us will benefit. That's that. That's the inspiration. Red lips and dance parties. You're entitled to both or neither. Whatever works for you, lights your spark. I'm all for it. Can't wait to hear about it. And I'll talk to you next time.
This show may be over, but the conversation is just beginning. Head on over to naptimeempires.com/Facebook so you can join my free... Wait, did I say free? I meant priceless, rapidly growing community of Naptime Empire builders for deeper discussions, behind-the-scenes scoop, and of course, updates whenever I've got new stuff coming up for you. naptimeempires.com/Facebook. See you there.
See you next time. Thanks for listening.